Super interested about hearing what you did as a producer in PlayStation.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
insane.
that was an interesting time as well.
Oh, it was, I
That was
assume.
it was dark.
Really?
Yeah, but it taught me a lot. Sometimes when you work for bad people or people that were misaligned, you learn a lot of things you shouldn't do, and it helped me make Hutch. I'm very grateful to PlayStation, but I didn't enjoy it. Had a breakdown.
Really? Wow, we should speak about it for sure. In Sony?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's quite mad.
I think that you have one of the coolest career path, starting as a postman, as the Royal Mail, producer in one of the coolest companies in the world, in PlayStation and Sony, then founding Hutch, selling Hutch for a lot of money,
Yeah.
and now founding your new studio and a new endeavor utilizing a lot of AI. As a start, can you share a bit about your personal story and about your career?
Yeah, I think it's yeah, it's a funny. How long have you got? I'll try and keep it short, but yeah, I was one of those kids that was pretty enthusiastic and curious about lots of things, but I struggled at school. I couldn't sit still, and it wasn't really till so essentially at 16, 17 I left school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I started a pirate video game business. So that's
Oh
a bit
my
you don't know.
God.
So I was phone hacking and all sorts of stuff, and downloading games and selling them. So I was pirating games, which was really bad, but I that's why free to play works. Yeah, I always was trying to build something, but I wasn't educated in the traditional sense. I wasn't stupid, but I just couldn't learn the traditional education way. And yeah, so the reason I came to the UK was I was so passionate about games, and I was lucky, I think, as a young person to have a passion for something, because I think, you need more than passion, but I was like, I need to go to the UK. This is where the coolest games are made. I'm from New Zealand, so I can actually go there with a visa. I came here, and that's where I got a job in Royal Mail. I was like, oh shit, I can't actually get a job. I better figure this out. And at the time when I was working for Royal Mail, I actually really enjoyed that job. It was stimulating. I was like, there was no GPS. There was no phone with like Google Maps. I had to use a traditional map, and I'd go, right,
Genius.
I want to get page 44 and on page 38, and I'd travel through pages. So it wasn't the most optimized way to get there. It was by page. But I remember seeing a giant green area on the map, and I thought it was the countryside, and it was actually Hyde Park. It was quite funny. So I got to know London. Did that for about 9 months. Really enjoyed it, but obviously it wasn't what I wanted to do for my life. And the dot-com boom was going crazy. It was 1999, and I got a job. I could do HTML, basic stuff, and I got a job working at Marks and Spencer, or I worked for an agency that worked for marksandspencer.com. But that job gave me the ability to get a job in games. So from project managing, I guess, digital products. And actually that job gave me more than that, which was this understanding of cost to acquire a customer and LTV. But then I went,
Wow.
yeah,
How?
because I was working in e-commerce, and it was very early. It was like printed catalogs that we were converting into an e-commerce website, because it was a direct mail order team that were turning into the e-commerce team. And we came up with ideas like, why don't we sell furniture online? And people were like, how are you going to do that? And it's like, well, what if someone goes home after looking at the furniture and wants to buy the furniture? It ended up becoming this like really big product line. So everyone thought that was crazy. No one's going to buy furniture online. Anyway, they do. And then I got a job at Lionhead Studios, which I was absolutely made up with. It was like, wow, I'm going to work for Peter Molyneux. That's going to be amazing. He did Black and White, Populous, some of my favorite games. And then I joined that team and met a lot of good friends in the industry. And that was a hard job. We were working I had a job at 11 o'clock at night, and I'd go home at 6 a.m. because we were testing the end of Fable, which was like it was
6 a.m.
Yeah. Well,
what was the atmosphere back then in gaming?
The atmosphere was, you've got this much time until we ship the game. You need to work 24/7 to get it done. And it was really, it was fucking hard. And sorry for swearing. And I saw a lot of people get quite sick, and a lot of people getting quite frustrated and angry, and it was quite sad. But it was kind of amazing technology-wise, but it was also like going backwards, because they had no concept of, I'd just been working in web development, and we were just, they had to press it on a CD or a DVD, and they had no concept of patching at the time. This is like Xbox launching product, and they hadn't really had those day one patches going out, I don't think, at the time. So everything had to be perfect, and it was just going to be crystallized on a disk. And so we had to work crazy hours. But it was fun. And then I actually lost my visa to the UK and got kicked out of the UK and went back to New Zealand.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, right, I'm not going to work for Lionhead Studios. And they'd been acquired by Microsoft. And then I got a job at PlayStation, which I was just amazed by PlayStation. They had these like casual games, like SingStar. Like, that's a mad idea. All games at the time were just like swords and guns. And I was just amazed that this company could see an opportunity where the PlayStation was in the room, and you could entertain more than just teenage males. And I thought they were really clever. But I worked for 5 years at that company, and I worked on 3 games. Yeah, three games that all got cancelled. And I don't want to sound like a victim about games being cancelled, because they get cancelled all the time for good reasons. But man, I was like burnt out, done. Like, I don't want to. And they were often cancelled by email threads, and you didn't really know who was saying the season no. So I was like, actually, let's make a games company that could, like, when you talk about the game, the team are in the room and you can give them feedback, and don't be a manager that cancels the game outside the room, sort of thing. So it was I learnt a lot there. Eventually I got let go, and they gave me some money. So that's when I started Hutch. And that was with 4 other people from PlayStation, and that was a gift. And we spent 6 months making one game, and it made $1 million. I convinced the group quite easily that we should not take the money out, because we were all working. Well, we weren't wealthy people. Having $1 million between 5 of us was quite exciting at the time. And I was like, let's just put the money back into the business and grow the business.